And we are about to get underway. We are at Matador Field. Looks like we'll have clear skies in about an hour or so. Slightly cloudy. I'm Patrick O'Sullivan for LivePlaySports.tv. The regular season, the playoffs, have all wrapped up in this past high school baseball season. But today we'll get a look at some of the finest players of the area. A lot of players of the future, as these are all underclassmen, so to speak. Players from the class of 2018, 2019, 2020. Many schools represented, a lot of teammates joining each other on these squads today. As we get to know these players, we'll find out who they are. A little bit about their schools. And you see in the red jerseys, that would be the North squad. Coached today by Cole Mahoney Brewer, who is an assistant coach at Ventura College. And about ready to go with the first pitch. It's ball one. On the mound for the North, number 19, you see the right-hander as he throws his first strike. That's Jack Hodgins from Simi Valley High. That's the South team in the black, batting first today. Going with Kevin Blyer from Westlake as their leadoff man. Up high is Hodgins. Bit of a high curve missing. 2-2. Make it a full count. 3-2. And the South, just like that, has their first base runner of the ball game. We'll get a chance perhaps to see what kind of speed Blyer has. Very friendly with the first baseman there, kind of joking around. I'm sure they know each other. And he starts off batter number 2 with a strike. Taylor Justice from Agora High is your batter. Quick throw down to first as they do test that speed and also the reaction skills of the base runner. And when you look over at first, you do see Justin Campbell, number 17. And you probably already said to yourself, that guy's pretty tall. And he is indeed 6'7", known for his pitching, really. We'll see if we get a look at him today on the mound. And a roller to third. Runner will go to second. Over to Campbell for the first out of the inning. "5-3" on the putout. But he does advance the runner. Runner in scoring position for the South squad. Take a look at your replay. Looks like he got the bottom part of the bat. And plenty of time at first to get the out. Number 16, Anthony Diaz from Gar High School steps in. Hodgins checking the runner. He's got a healthy lead out there. A choppier grounder to short, but stays low, and making the long throw in time for the out is the North shortstop, number 11, Jack Durazo of Oaks Christian High. See his skill set on the replay here as the runner charging towards first, but Durazo, and that extension by the 6'7" Campbell helping out there as well as he picks it out of the dirt. Runner stays on second. And the cleanup man for the South team is number 9, Dawson Diamond of Quartz Hill. I think our first college commit we're seeing at the plate today. As Diamond, healthy cut there. Might have chipped it off the foot. Diamond will be playing his college ball at San Diego State University. But he's still got another year left of high school ball. As all these players have at least a year. Diamond takes, but finding the zone is Hodgins. Laying off. 2-2. 2 outs. Checking the runner again, Hodgins. Inside, missing. Count is full. Diamond fouls one off. Diamond is a catcher, being recruited as much for his skills behind the plate. I was reading one of his prospect reports online, even a couple of years ago when he was just starting out at the high school level, being commended for his high game IQ, and that's what you need behind the plate. Can really help a pitching staff along. And back to that 6-5 hole at the side of the infield. A running throw, but Campbell misplays it. Gets away, and Blyer just kept on running from second, and he's got our first run of the ball game. So solid base running by the leadoff man for the South, Kevin Blyer. Gives them an early 1-0 lead. Sometimes you just got to put the ball in play and see what happens as Diamond reaches on the air. Number 12 swinging at a high pitch, Jonathan Larson of Rio Mesa. 6'3" in that batter's box. And the catcher barehands it over to Campbell for the 3rd out of the inning. So the South, they do get on the board with a 1-0 lead, but they strand a runner as well. So after half an inning, we'll get a chance to see the North squad come to the plate. Here's a replay as Campbell secures that one. Give you another angle. And there's the South squad now taking the field. Try to find out who's on the mound for them today. The right-hander, number 11. Julian Sotelo of Gar High School. Already heard that name a couple times. As I mentioned, a lot of teammates joined on these all-star squads. Familiarity. So the North squad, starting with a left-handed hitter, number 3, Marcus Padilla of Simi Valley. And he swings, and giving chase in left field for the South is number 10, Aiden Alger of Quartz Hill. But he was about a first down away from catching that one. Meaning 10 yards. Sorry, I'm starting early with the football puns. Padilla, boy, he really lifts that front leg, anticipating the pitch, giving himself a chance to drive his weight in the ball if he guesses right. But a big strikeout to start the game for Sotelo on the mound. Sotelo. It's that high outside corner, just grazing it. Umpire rings him up. Now at bat for the North, David Alamillo of Centennial High. Puts it in play, fielded at third. Jonathan Larson of Rio Mesa making the play. Quick out. Now you get a look at Larson. Looks like he was about to charge the ball and then made the adjustment. Laid back on it. Took it high off the ground. Smooth throw to first for the out. 2 up, 2 down. Number 1, Andrew Lucas of Camarillo steps in for the North. Lucas getting a chance to get familiar with this field as he is a CSUN commit to play his college ball, but that's a high pop-up over to the second baseman. Finds his footing, finds a place to get right under the ball for the third out of the inning. So very quick work by Sotelo. As number 3, Kevin Taylor of Westlake will get credit for that put out. After 1 inning, it's the South 1, the North 0. You see panning the field. LivePlaySports.tv. Hodgins remaining on the mound for his second inning of work. 6'3", 225, right-hander. Sporting a 3.7 grade point average as well. Number 14, Andrew Householder, another Gar High School player, swinging away, and he fouls it. Oh, and an incredible grab over the railing, drawing cheers from our crowd. Third baseman for the North, number 15, Cole Moses of Moore Park High. Let's see this again. Moses had a beat on it. He looked down, gained some speed, but he just kept looking back up to check in on that ball, and just a great piece of pacing to get to the fence in time. And then he says, no big deal. Right back to the pitcher, off the glove, bouncing to second base, and they get the out. Number 4, David Alamillo of Centennial, taking the ball off the glove of Hodgins. Didn't even get a chance to meet our batter. See if we can get a number here as he runs down the first base line right by Justin Campbell. I guess we'll get him next time. Number 1 up for the South team, Ricardo Perez of John Burroughs. Taking a big hack right away against Hodgins. Two outs. And down he goes. So after an inning and a half, it's 1-0 South in this quick-moving ball game. Hodgins, see him shift that right foot back and then deliver the curve for strike 3. Get a look at the North dugout. Matching the paint job here at Matador Field. Kind of a red and gray scheme. Got a chance to drive by the campus. Great looking campus out here. See some recreational basketball courts to my left. A lot of new student housing. And there's the North squad. Chance to get to know each other. I'm sure they've all played, or a lot of them played together before. South dugout, the black squad. Head coach John Bertzloff. Bertzloff, also the coach at Westlake High. And here is number 17, Justin Campbell. And that 6'7" frame. We've seen him at first base today, but a lot of the interest in him is as a pitcher. Simi Valley High. And his counterpart fields it. Runs over to first, setting down Campbell. Kind of jammed him up on the inside. Wasn't able to extend his swing. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . And that is Sotelo still on the mound for the South. Trent Packard of Newberry Park, number 5, over to second for out number 2. Kevin Taylor, Westlake High at second base for the South team. He's getting a lot of work early in this game. Usually that means Sotelo is getting these hitters to swing a little late as the right-handed hitter is hitting the ball the right side of the infield. That one's low. Number 15, Cole Moses, your batter. We just saw him make that phenomenal play moments ago when he reached over the railing at third base. Two outs. Another roller to second. An extension at first. Danny Hernandez from Westlake getting the ball from his teammate today and his teammate during the regular season, Kevin Taylor, the Westlake connection. Taylor had to go a bit deep towards the outfield for that one. And if you look at the replay right there, looks like the foot came off the bag, but on the scoreboard, that's an out. So that's 3 putouts already for Kevin Taylor in the field, getting a chance to showcase his fielding skills, and that's what this event really is about for these players. Some on the college radar, some not, some developing, some they don't know what they have. It's so hard to gauge the high school level. Of course, these are growing young men, so I've seen it already many times where you'll see a player will hit around 180 one year and come back and be a 330 hitter because they've grown and developed skills at the high school level, gotten great coaching, whatever it is, a number of these factors. And of course, you know, these scouts, whether they're college or pro, they can often gauge and guess correctly how these players develop their strength and their skills. And Hodgins back on the mound for his 3rd inning of work, delivers. It's a grounder to second, has been the story today. Over to Campbell. Number 13, Danny Hernandez from Westlake was your batter. Missing outside. So number 2, Kevin Blyer, another Westlake player for the South. Two-0 count. Hodgins. Blyer. Shallow fly out to left for out number 2. Second time today, we'll see Taylor Justice at the plate. Agora High player, class of 2019. listed as a catcher and an outfielder. Hodgins. Strike two. That one's popped up. Will be out of play, into the stands, out towards the parked cars. And it either hit my car, I'm not kidding, or right behind my car. We'll find out later. I saw the bounce, and I'm not sure if it hit the bumper or the concrete behind the car. Third base coach getting a chance to get some fielding practice in on that swing. Number 6 for the South team. Taylor Justice still at the plate. Behind in the count, 1-2, 2 outs. Hodgins out there, one of the highlights of his season. On March 2nd, he threw a no-hitter against Saugus High. As part of the Easton Classic tournament. And the right-hander finishes this frame with a called strike on Justice. There you get a chance to see Hodgins, the kind of stuff that got him that no-hitter this year. Ball started a little bit toward the outside of the plate. Broke toward the middle. Looks like a fastball though. And Sotelo takes his place right back on the mound quickly. He wants to get back to work and keep this rhythm rolling along. So we're now in the middle of the third with the South up 1-0. Today's game brought to you by Field Level, the recruiting network. Other sponsors, Sports Academy. They're a full training campus in Thousand Oaks, covering every sport, every aspect: strength, mindset development, recovery, medical services. Also, you see some of that apparel out there today. Marucci providing the bats. Wood bat event. Also the jerseys and hats brought to you by J-Dub, high quality hats. They also make bats and bags and backpacks. Sotelo wants to talk to his catcher, see what their plan is. Looks like it's a brief one. Probably something to the effect of just keep getting these guys out. Here we go, bottom of the third, North getting another chance. Number 11, Jack DeRazzo of Oaks Christian is your batter. DeRazzo, class of 2018. A third baseman and shortstop. He's got himself a base hit. First hit of the day for the North. So DeRazzo just kind of slaps one low. Gets it into right field. Sometimes that's all you got to do. Catcher losing part of his gear, or rather the batter swung himself out of his elbow pad. Number 10, Jeremiah Duran from Frontier High. Looks at a late strike call. Duran, a .352 hitter this year, so he is a threat at that plate with a base runner on. Sotelo checking. Interesting delivery by Sotelo, as you see. Well, it looks like just about every pitch he is already in his motion. He kind of pounds the ball in the mitt and then delivers right away after that. Take a look at this. So he looks at the runner. You'll see the leg kick first, and then the pound, and boom. Gets the batter to swing outside, and he'll keep on walking to the dugout. Sotelo checking on Durazo. Strike one. Number 13 is your batter for the North. Garrett Austin, Moore Park High School. Outfielder, first baseman, 3.733 grade point average. Boy, at first base it looked like Durazo might have been going, but he stumbled on about his second or third step and had to retreat. And that ball, I think, just hit right off the catcher's chest protector, and that's what that gear is for. Outside, quick throw to first as they have been alerted to the intentions of Durazo over there. Now paying a bit more attention. Garrett Austin of Moore Park. Moore Park this year, 25-4, 11-1 in league play. They finished as the number 13 ranked team in the area by the LA Times. And he swings at him. It's very similar to the last batter. He just swung at the outside stuff. It's almost like Sotelo is giving them directions to the dugout. He's saying, swing at this outside pitch, and your momentum will lead you back to where you came from. Check it out. Sotelo outside gets him to chase, and then, yep, that's where my dugout is. And the runner does go right away, and plenty of time. A standing up stolen base by Durazo. So he wins that little game within the game they were having at first. Number 3, Marcus Padilla of Simi Valley, his second at-bat of the afternoon. Can we call it the afternoon yet? Oh, it's still morning, folks. Sorry. 11:36 a.m. Laying off. And this time, boy, Durazo, he was about a third of the way down toward third base. So aggressive on the base paths. Don't know if that's his regular demeanor, if that's the coaching they're receiving in this game today. Try to get that run to tie this ball game. Liner to third. Fielded cleanly by the South for the third out of the inning. So no run will be scored as Sotelo keeps up his fine work on the mound. There's a replay. Trying to piece together who these players are for you. We couldn't see the back of the jersey, the third baseman. The lineups, I just have some names. Let's see. We'll try to get that for you. And there is a new pitcher, and it's number 6 on the mound for the North. Blake Corsentino of Ventura High. Once again, one of our sponsors today, J-Dub, making high-quality hats and bats, bags and backpacks. They provided the hats for today's game. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Another sponsor, Amateur Baseball Development Group, Incorporated, nonprofit foundation improving youth baseball. Corsentino, his first pitch of the game was a strike. Number 16 at the plate for the South, Anthony Diaz of Gar High. Grounded out in the first inning. Corsentino catching the outside corner high in the zone. Numbers on Corsentino this year. He's 3-0 with a 0.74 ERA. .63 out on the mound. Full count. And he walks. Diaz. So base runner on for Dawson Diamond of Quartz Hill. And ball gets away, and motoring all the way from first to third is Anthony Diaz. So just like that, they're a base hit or a sac fly away from scoring. Nobody out. Diamond lifts it, but in the infield for the easy out to second. Number 4, David Alamillo making the play. Runner will hold at third. And now getting his chance to take his hacks. Number 12, Jonathan Larson of Rio Mesa. Ball gets away again, coming home easily for the second run. is Diaz. 2-0. The South squad building on their lead. Chopper to short, high one. Take a look at the replay. As down goes Larson. Think about that high chopper with the target being Campbell at first base. Kind of puts you in a nice position. Field that high ball, you got a high target. Sometimes just a matter of a second or less to get the runner. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed hitter. Fouling off. Number 14, Andrew Householder. Corsentino. Some adventures behind the plate this inning. Jeremiah Duran of Frontier High. So different schools. Maybe it's a matter of just not being used to each other. Pitcher-catcher relationship as running in from left field to make the grab for the third out. North taking care of business after giving up that one run. So a 2-0 lead for the South. Okay, folks, we are back for the bottom of the fourth inning in the South versus North matchup at the Southwest Futures All-Star Series. Cal State Northridge University, these high school players matching up today. New pitcher on the mound in the bottom of the fourth for the South squad from Quartz Hill High, number 10, Aiden Alger. Alger, the Golden League Pitcher of the Year, a 5-2 record, 2.32 ERA, 54 strikeouts. in 45.1 innings pitched. Great year for his team, 26-6 and undefeated, 14-0 in league play. The left-handed pitcher facing the batter for the the Red Squad. Missing there, it's number 7, Nick Schnapp of Camarillo at the plate. First chance to get a look at him today. Two count is even, nobody out. You are watching LivePlaySports.tv's coverage. I'm Patrick O'Sullivan with your play-by-play. And joined today in the bottom of the fourth by one of our sponsors, Field Level, and their representative, Brenton Sullivan. Welcome, Brenton.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So starting off the inning with a walk. And that brings up the batter, number 4, David Alamillo. As Alger missing high. Brenton, Field Level, one of the sponsors of the event today. I'm sure you know more about the company than I do. Why don't you tell us a bit about what you do over there?
Yeah, so at Field Level, we're a company that's really focused on what we call network-based athletic recruiting. Nice play there.
As another runner gets on.
What we're really focusing on is helping bring the athletic recruiting industry into the digital age, but focusing on what's important. And it's really all about the high school coaches understanding that there's 2 primary roles they have. There's the skill development and performance. They want to get wins, but there's also the side of their job of helping their athletes reach their full potential. And a lot of that has to do with helping them move on. So Field Level is a network that allows athletes to collaborate and work with their coach and allow their coach to create introductions to college programs that ultimately they can get recruited.
So I'm guessing this is a year-round operation, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Recruiting doesn't stop.
So catching himself in a bit of a bind early on as the ball is popped up to short, and left fielder giving chase as well, but eventually all is well for the South. There's number 2, Kevin Blyer, making the play. See this replay. Blyer had to make the adjustment, but almost intercepted it from his left fielder. And that'll bring up 6'7" Justin Campbell with a high chopper charging from second, getting the out, but the runners now at second and third. And where's the organization based out of? It's Southern California?
Yeah, we're out of San Diego. We have an office in Ventura as well, but yeah, San Diego's our home, and a number of different sports now. Obviously, we're at a baseball event, but it's not just strictly baseball. You know, recruiting at its core is very similar in all the sports, where college coaches are looking for referrals from high school coaches. Those are the guys and gals that know their athletes the best. And so we're really bringing that process onto a platform where high school coaches can feel comfortable sending an athlete's profile along to a college, creating some introductions, and saying, I think this would be a great player for your program. And it's really been working well. Over 30,000 athletes have logged a commitment on our platform so far. And
wow.
It's always nice to be part of that.
Number 5, Trent Packard of Newberry Park is your batter. So would you say that's how a lot of how recruiting has changed over the years? It's almost like it's more proactive. No?
Well, I think the recruiting went through sort of a digital shift where athletes and parents started saying, okay, we need to get started earlier, and how do we get better exposure? You have these events and you have camps and things, but because technology started to grow, they're saying, well, let's put together video packages and profiles and sort of blast them off to colleges. But what that started doing was just created a bunch of noise. And the college coaches are having a difficult time filtering through that information. And so what they're starting to do is cut back on the technology and go back to the core of, they have a network of contacts, high school coaches, club coaches around the country that they use to feed them information, and field level really.
So we take a look at Aiden Alger. Got himself into trouble, but then takes care of business. Kind of a wicked slider, I think. Broke late into the plate, setting him down, and missed opportunity for the North as the South hangs on to that 2-0 lead. Corsentino back on the mound from Ventura High for the North squad. So I don't mean to start a regional war, but better athletes, San Diego or Los Angeles?
Los Angeles got a lot of athletes.
So you're going to go with, is it population? Is that what it is?
Well,
I thought San Diego's the biggest county in the nation.
Yeah, that's true. I think maybe it's a little too soon to tell. We're 5 months down there. We moved our headquarters from Culver City down to San Diego, so I'm brand new to the San Diego area. It's been nice so far, though.
Corsentino missing ball one. And that ball driven down the left field line. Drops fair into second base with a stand-up double for the South. Number 5, Cade Critch, another Westlake High player. First extra base hit of this game. So runner in scoring position right away for the South, as Corsentino paying modest attention to the runner on second. Most of the base runners today, I would say, are more aggressive than maybe they would be in a regular high school game, given that they want to showcase that talent. And also opposite field this time, drifting, but made the play in right field and turning to make the throw for the North, number 13, Garrett Austin of Moore Park High. So first out, and that one could have done some damage as well. Almost looked like it was going to be the mirror opposite of the last hit we saw and dropped down the right field line, but they get the out. Corsentino will now face number 13, Danny Hernandez, another Westlake High player. And over the shortstop's head for a base hit. Runners on the corners all of a sudden. So it's Danny Hernandez and Cade Critch, teammates at Westlake High, teammates today at first and third. One out. Corsentino will try to get out of this jam. Number 2 is your batter. He swings. Field to the third. They will turn the double play. to end the inning. So the South hanging on to that 2-0 lead, looks like. We'll get a left-handed pitcher out on the mound now for the South. .67 degrees in the middle of this ball game. And the new South pitcher, or the same South pitcher, I'm sorry, it's number 10, Aiden Alger, back out on the mound. Talk about his team's success this year. Quartz Hill. Dawson Diamond, his teammate, the San Diego State commit. What do you see here today? Like what gives, as you see Brad, our cameraman, dancing. What do you think of Brad, our cameraman, dancing?
It's great moves.
Any thoughts? Great moves. Great. That's a pretty, well, you know what? I'm going to go with great after Brad added that kind of fist bump at the end. I was on the fence about Brad, but that's your dancer of the game, Brad the cameraman. Brad really threw us off our subject there, which we were talking about recruiting, and then all of a sudden a dancing cameraman appeared on the screen. Did you expect that?
No, hey.
I didn't either.
Keep on your toes.
Aiden Alger, the lefty, facing the right-handed hitter for the North, number 12, Michael Christian Herrera of Rio Mesa. Speaking of a team with a great season, Rio Mesa 23-4 this year, lost in the CIF playoffs in the second round. They were 12-0 in the Pacific View League. So what do you think, an event like this, what purpose do they help your company serve in the recruiting process, as well as Herrera drives a ball deep to left field, does bounce to the warning track. Left fielder has to chase it down, turn around, throw it to the cutoff man, but into second base with a double is Herrera.
So what we do at field levels, we're really trying to educate athletes and parents on the importance of their high school coach, or their coaches in general, playing an active role in their recruiting process. And so the reason this event popped on our radar is because all of these athletes are here because they got nominated by their coach. And so it's their coach saying, look, I'm recognizing this is a really talented athlete, and let's get them all together, let them show their skills. You know, a lot of these athletes are committed, or there are a number that are, but there are also some that aren't. And the recruiting process is really difficult to navigate. But when you start to talk to parents and athletes and tell them, look, your coach is one of your best resources. You don't have to, this doesn't have to be a scary process. That coach is going to be able to go out there and work on your behalf. You know, that's something that more and more people are starting to realize can be really helpful.
Yeah, I was speaking earlier in the ball game that we've got a number of players here today that are college commits, but also some players that they were bench players for the teams this year, but they have 2 or 3 seasons left of high school level baseball, and so much can change over the course of a high school career. You don't know how a player is going to grow physically.
Sure.
And a lot of times, like you're saying, coaches and recruiters can just project what they see a player could become based on his skill set or the skills he's working on. As you get a strike out from Alger. Herrera still at second. You see a lot of leaps in the players?
Yeah, well, and I think that it's hard to project those leaps with this age group. Like you said, there's freshman, sophomore type athletes that are putting on weight, muscle, they're growing. Even their mental approach towards the game is evolving and maturing. And that's something that the numbers aren't really going to tell you. And so when you think about high school and statistics, and it's really hard to differentiate, okay, is this player have really great statistics because of the competition, or are they playing top tier competition and they're really that good? And that's something that the high school coach can really comment on and can help sort of surface, hey, look, this athlete, though he might not have the best stats right now, there's a lot of room to grow here, and his approach is getting better and better each year, and those are the sort of things that are great.
Yes, I saw that over the course of this year, for example. Even a player that's a senior in one of the schools we were covering didn't have the loftiest stats batting, was very versatile in the field. As a runner, second base, fields it, has to kind of throw it around his shortstop who cut in front of him. The runner's safe at first. Runner's on the corners now with one out. See the replay. First, the umpire has to get out of the way. Second baseman grabs it. He stumbles. Shortstop ducks down. That play almost had as many moves as Brad, our dancing cameraman. Alger now will face number 10 versus number 10, and the ball gets away from the backstop. Coming home for the North as they cut into this lead, 2-1. Scoring from third base. It looked like the catcher kind of thought he had it and then realized a split second later it bounced off his glove and rolled away. Runner still on second. Bottom of the fifth, only one out, 7-inning ball game. Finding a hole in the left side of the infield with a base hit. But the left fielder playing shallow, so runner does not score. Yeah, I was saying, so this player is headed to a major, as we see the replay, through that 6-5 hole on the left side of the infield. This player's headed to play baseball at a major Division I program, and he doesn't have the greatest stats, but a super competitive league, and you can just kind of see the skill set there on the field, especially, I would say, playing the outfield, playing the infield. He's got versatility.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you're saying, you just don't know. Well, I don't know, but somebody out there does know.
Yeah.
These college programs.
Well, and I think that's what we're really trying to touch on, is that the person that knows the best is their high school coach. Even if you come to a showcase and see this play today, obviously these are all very talented athletes, but you can't get a real sense of the athlete just seeing him once. You might show up and you might have a really great game, and then the next day doesn't perform as well. And to get the full picture of that athlete, you really have to talk to someone that's with them all the time. And the best person, in our opinion, is that high school coach.
So in that situation, it might just be something that player is missing. I'm guessing here. I'm not the expert. I don't want to. But maybe the only thing they might be missing is consistency.
Yeah, and that's where the high school coach, so this player that you're discussing here, their high school coach might see it in practice a lot, and there's a little bit of a consistency issue in the game, but he knows that that's going to get ironed out, and that there's a lot here, especially if this athlete gets the right coaching, is on the right team, continues on this sort of arc of development. Hard for the stats to tell that story.
Number 3 for the North, Marcus Padilla is your batter. Hayden Alger still on the mound. Lefty versus lefty. Catcher keeps that one in front of him and lets the runner at third know. He's protecting that plate. That's number 11, Jack Durazo from Oaks Christian. You do see these players today, they have the batting helmets from their high schools on, most of them, even though they have the all-star uniforms. And 2 outs, so that will be the third out of the inning in center field. But the North knocking on the door at 2-1. South still holding the lead after 5. Yeah, I believe very highly recruited player who's projected to go in the first round of the Major League Draft next month. Played in this event last year. And even though he has a storied high school career, I'm talking about Royce Lewis, who's a shortstop at J. Sarah Catholic. He was the Gatorade State Player of the Year this year. I believe 3-time Trinity League Player of the Year. But even events like this, giving a player like that a chance to showcase that maybe he's been on the Major League Scouts and college scouts radar, but it just gives him another chance to show his talent against high-level competition from other schools as well.
And we were down talking to the athletes earlier today, and I was just touching on recruiting and how sometimes scary it can be for athletes. And one of the things that the coaches were saying is they said, look, every opportunity, you have to take advantage of every opportunity. And what coaches will always say is there's someone always watching. So you got to play like that. So even you get a superstar athlete out here, maybe it's a scout that's just looking at how they're handling, themselves between innings, what they're doing. Okay, they're at a showcase, and maybe it's not the most competitive game, but how are they? What are they bringing? I mean, you can see a bunch of guys out here. You can tell they're competitive guys. So
sure, I remember. I mean, this is a football story, but I remember years ago that a college football coach went up to a community college practice to look at a tight end who had a lot of buzz about him. And there wasn't a lot of buzz on the quarterback, but what he saw in the practice, and maybe a game too, was something about the quarterback. And he went, wow, who's this guy? And as he was driving back to his university, called and offered the quarterback a scholarship. And the quarterback turned out to be Aaron Rodgers.
Butte Community College.
So sometimes there's this hidden gem sitting out there. I mean, what a career he has had at the NFL level.
It says something about the junior college or community college route too. That especially in California, Arizona, Texas, those junior colleges, 2-year colleges are just stacked with talent, and oftentimes athletes are sort of waiting. Okay, well, I want to get this Division I opportunity, but the junior college route, especially with sort of the infrastructure, almost every single junior college in California is using field level to help place their players, and they're able to get them out all over the country. So
sure, I mean, absolutely. How often do you see a player who gets drafted in the late rounds at a high school and then just spend a year or two at a community college even, and all of a sudden they're in the picture in a high round?
Yeah. I think that's sometimes they just need that extra year of development and get into a proper weight room and start going against some top tier competition and improve their position.
Number 6, Blake Corsentino, back out there on the mound, getting the called strike. South squad at the plate for them. Number 3, Kevin Taylor of Westlake. Lifting one to center. Has to back up a little bit, but making the play.
I like seeing the wood bats out here.
That's right, the wood bats today.
Yeah, that's great.
Brought to you by Marucci. Number 4 for the South, Michael Diamore, another Westlake player. And he pokes a base hit past the pursuing shortstop. See the replay. Anything you see on that just basic base hit and the player's approach?
Nice and balanced. Sometimes you can get kind of revved up at the plate. It felt like he was sitting back.
Left-handed hitter number 10, sorry, for the South. The pitcher, Aiden Alger. Nice pitch by Corsentino. Gets that low outside corner. That ball broke late. Almost fooled him there as well. High school season officially wrapped up a week ago at Dodger Stadium. Southern Section champions, El Toro, the Division I champion. They've got some players in this event this weekend. Etowanda, the Division II champion, and Walnut, the Division III champion. Full count, 2 outs. Corsentino. Runner on first. First baseman backs up. They won't worry about the runner here. They'll worry about getting this third out. However they can get it, and they don't need help as Corsentino sets him down on the call, third strike. So still 2-1. Well, hi, Brenton. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thanks for sponsoring the event.
Of course.
And we got, this is just the first game. There's 3 more games left to play today and tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. It's always great to see the, some top talent out here. Some future.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Future players.
And hopefully this weather holds up as well.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Also, folks out there watching, if you want a DVD of today's game or any of these games, they are available on our website, liveplaysports.tv. There's Mike, our cameraman, but does not seem to go to the Brad School of Dancing. No? Can we get a move out of Mike? Nope, he's hiding. Brad. Can we get? Oh, there we go, Mike. The Mike Shuffle, the famous Mike Shuffle. We didn't name Brad's dance. We might have to have a dance-off between our cameraman between innings, and then maybe you tweet us or email us and let us know who you think the winner is. Sorry to break it to Mike, but I'm going with Brad. Couple innings left, though. Mike could make a comeback. Okay, we're hit the Southwest Future All-Stars Series. Southwest Futures, sorry. God. Caught in the moment thinking we were on Dancing with the Stars. Aiden Alger back on the mound, left-handed thrower. Roller to short. Sets down number 7 for the North. Nick Schnapp of Camarillo was your batter. So Schnapp, you see that ball, he just got the bottom of the bat so it drove into the ground. And so much about making contact is where the ball hits the bat. How level is your swing with the pitch? That's why you see players like Ichiro with such a knack, just getting the base hit and getting the right part of the bat on the ball. 1-1, even count, 1 out. South 2, North 1. Very competitive ball game. We've seen the pitchers get into jams, but usually get out of the jams. A lot of these runs were unearned, as some of these balls getting away behind the backstop. Might have to chalk that up to the relationship between the pitchers and the catchers today. Not familiar with playing with each other, not on the same high school teams, but on the same squads here today. After this, we have a 4 p.m. game. It'll be the South versus the East, or rather the East versus the West. And then tomorrow, another set of games. At 11 a.m., it's the West versus the North. And at 4 p.m., it's the South versus the East. So that all these teams get to play each other. These players broken off into 4 squads, about 75 to 80 players in this event. And I've been to some of these high school fields, and they are pretty state-of-the-art and beautiful as well. But all these kids get a chance to play at this great college facility here. Give them a little taste of that. Alger, the pitch. And speared at first base. Danny Hernandez from Westlake making the play over there. Number 1 for the North. Andrew Lucas, the CSUN commit. Camarillo High. On deck, number 17, the 6'7" Justin Campbell. Big hack there, but a swing and a miss. Blowing it by him is Alger. One, 2 count. Bottom of the 6th inning. Ball gets away again. Rolling toward the south dugout. Holding up on the swing. They check the first and he says, strike. So the delayed strikeout ends the inning. Go to our final frame. 7 innings is the high school rule. So I mentioned you could buy those DVDs online of this ball game at liveplaysports.tv, obviously after the games are completed, but also today's games will be available right here at the game at the stadium on the campus on DVD format if you happen to be coming through tomorrow. CSUN Matadors as the wind clearly blowing to the right, which, gauging where we are, I think that's west, maybe northwest, or rather, you know, I should really not guess this. Northridge is a tricky area to figure out. Well, it's definitely north. It's Northridge. Very thankful that number 13, Danny Hernandez, steps in so we can change the subject. There we go. Ball gets away. So now it's winning time, a 2-1 ball game. And yeah, you come out here to showcase your skills. Back up the middle, but shortstop thought he had it, but he didn't. Number 15 for the North squad, Cole Moses, who we saw make that fine play when he was at third base early on when he leaned over the railing, allows a base runner there for the South. Danny Hernandez. That's why you hustle. That ball way over the catcher's head and easily going down to second is Hernandez now. That's number 16 on the mound now for the North, Brent Jacques of Rio Mesa. Jacques, as a sophomore, was 6-2 with a 2.15 ERA. His junior season just wrapping up, 2-1, 4.20. Earned run average, a second-team All-Pacific View League player. Looking to settle in here after that wild pitch got away. And he locks in with a strike to number 1. Ricardo Perez of Burroughs High of Burbank. A lot of geography covered with these players here. Vast area, Southern California, and he does get the strikeout. Another called strike. Back to that American flag blowing, just so you know, from where I'm standing, I see that it's blowing east. I know that. What I'm saying is in relation to where we are in the actual area. Does that make sense? Number 3, the batter for the South, Kevin Taylor. Runner in scoring position, 1 out, 1-1 count. Jacques delivers. Popped up, playable by the second baseman. He's under it for out number 2. It's number 4, David Alamillo with the putout. And number 4 stepping into the batter's box for the South, Michael Diamore. Michael Diamore. So Jacques does look like he's settled in now, finding the strike zone, painting the corners, and he is 1 out away from getting out of this unscathed. Catcher does a good job keeping that ball in front of him. Trent Packard of Newberry Park. Your fences here, 325 down the lines, 360 to the alleys, 390 straight center. Those have not really been threatened today. Saw 1 ball driven deep. Very high late bounce, but nice adjustment by Cole Moses as he makes up for earlier in the inning, allowing the base runner, and they get out of it. So still a 2-1 lead for the South. See replay. We've seen that all day today. That dirt patch over by shortstop at least looks like it's very susceptible to the high bounce. I don't know if that's the weather conditions, maybe a little bit wet, and then it's relatively cool afternoon now. In the South, we'll call upon number 15, Nicolo Chudian of Burroughs High to close this game out. See if he can get the job done. Chudian 2-1 with a 3.55 ERA this past season. Meets with his catcher. Loosening up. And the North sends up number 12, Michael Christian Herrera, who has had the longest hit ball of the day. It just hit right before the warning track in left center. And just missed on that one as he fouls it off. Fouls it off just about the exact same way as the last pitch. 0-2 count, Chudian. See if he's got some heat that he can throw for his third strike. His closer roll. Missing high with a curve is Chudian. And that time he tried to nick the outside corner, but the umpire says just missed. Now count is even, 2-2. Nobody out. Last chance for the North squad. Only a one-run ball game. They'd love to start this Southwest Futures All-Star Series with a walk-off win down the left field line, but about 5-6 feet foul. So folks, all this drama I just built was really just practice, as I found out. We're playing 9 innings today. So the high school rule is not applying. The Wood Bats in a 9-inning ball game. As the out. Is recorded on the ground. See replay. South third baseman Jonathan Larson making the play. Justin Campbell back up to bat. Campbell of Simi Valley, they finished number 19 ranked in the LA Times season-ending regional rankings. They've been developing Campbell at their own pace over at Simi, not rushing things. He started on JV You get a 6'7" kid walking on a campus, and there's an appeal to throw him out there on the mound, but done a nice job of grooming him. His first JV season, he was 5-0 with a 1.14 ERA, and then he was brought up to the varsity squad after that in 2016 at the end of the year. And this season, he was co-MVP of the Coastal Canyon League. This is a player to keep an eye on to see exactly. I'm sure he's on the radar of scouts with that kind of size and starting to fulfill his potential with the results on the mound this past season. And he'll get another whole season to prove himself come next spring. Field Level, one of our sponsors here today. Got a chance to talk to Brenton Sullivan a couple innings ago, representing them right here on site. You see your split screen, batter and pitcher, Justin Campbell against Nicolo Chudian. Right back up the middle, but a great diving stab. Not in time, but great effort nonetheless. So the shortstop was playing him to pull. That's why you saw him move to his right. That is the shortstop positioned out there behind second base. But it will be a base hit for Campbell. Had to throw off his back foot. Didn't really have a chance though. I believe that's Ricardo Perez out there trying to see the back of the jerseys for you. Give these players credit where credit is due. South 2, North 1. Back to short. And this time they get the double play. So nice piece of fielding by the shortstop for the South. And they hang on to that one-run lead. Here it is. Score that. 6 taking a knee. Over to 4. Over to 3 for the double play. Close at first base. Speaking of the futures of these players, as Nicolo Chudian from Burroughs gets his first chance to hit today. Limited at bats this season, had a .240 average. But back to the futures. Major League Baseball draft is Monday through Wednesday. A lot of anticipation in the area. We talked about Royce Lewis from J. Sarah Catholic, an alum of this event. He figures to go in the first round, even though he's a UC Irvine commit. And the big question is, will a player we covered all season long, Hunter Green, a pitcher and shortstop from Notre Dame Sherman Oaks, will he indeed go #1 overall to the Minnesota Twins? Find out in a couple days. Jacques versus Chudian. Pitcher versus pitcher. That ball. And a great catch made in the bullpen by whoever that is warming up. Number 12 for the North, so that will not count, but I think it's Michael Christian Herrera out in the bullpen. He raced from the bullpen pitching mound to grab that one low. No, he goes back to throwing his warm-up tosses. Probably not something he expected this inning. Jacques with a called third strike. Number 10 for the South, Aiden Alger. Got his work in today on the mound. And now he'll swing. And that one, backspin on the ball, kind of rotated it from center to left, but the center fielder stayed on it, chased it down. Andrew Lucas, the CSUN commit, records the out. 2 outs, 2-1 lead for the South. Top of the 8th inning. We're playing 9 innings today. I said several times we're playing 7 innings. I mean, several times I was wrong. Sorry about that, folks. These high school games usually are 7 innings, but I'm guessing the 9-inning format is to give a chance for all these players to showcase their skills. A lot of different players, a lot of different rotations, substitutions, third out of the inning there. And also an idea of what it's like to play that kind of ball game endurance-wise. We've got the wood bats here today as well. You're watching LivePlaySports.tv's coverage. I'm Patrick O'Sullivan with your play-by-play. Joined today by 2 dancing cameramen and our producer Darren. One of our sponsors, Amateur Baseball Development Group Incorporated, a non-profit foundation improving youth baseball, which is what this event is all about. Players from the class of 18, 19, and 20, so freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. All next year will be sophomores, juniors, and seniors. Seniors moving on, wrapping up their high school careers in one of the biggest hotbeds of high school baseball in the entire nation, if not the top. So many players at the Division I level, Major League level, minor leagues coming out of the Los Angeles area over the years, year after year. And this one, boy, that CIF Southern Section Division I tournament showcased so many talents. So many projected first-round picks and D1 players. A lot of websites and publications chose Hagen Danner of Huntington Beach, the pitcher, as their state player of the year. He took them deep into the playoffs, along with Nick Prado, their power-hitting first baseman, who also pitches. Sports Academy, one of your sponsors today as well. Sports Academy is a full training campus in Thousand Oaks, covering every sport and every aspect of those sports: strength, mindset development, recovery, medical services. Sports Academy. Judian, still on the mound, going to work for the South. At bat for the North in the bottom of the 8th. Leading off the inning, number 6, Blake Corsentino, who also one of the several pitchers we've seen today. That ball is caught in center field. Number 5 for the South, Cade Krish of Westlake, class of 2019, making the play in center. I don't want to discredit him. I want to credit him. So according to this paper, Cade Krish in center field with a 4.80 grade point average. Didn't know that was possible. That's what it says. Impressive. Number 15, the batter in the red jerseys for the North, Cole Moses. Seen him play third base today, seen him play shortstop, seen him hit a ball into the gap in left center that has a chance, but running from his left to make the play for the South. As Judian gets his second out of the inning. Number 11 for the North, Jack Durazo of Oaks Christian, Thousand Oaks. They've got a great baseball facility as well. We've covered some of their games in the past. That ball to center. Caught again by Krish for the third out. So now we will head to the final inning, which is the 9th inning. South 2, North 1. Judian doing his job in relief as Cade Krish makes the grab. New pitcher for the North, number 12, Michael Christian Herrera. We just saw him warming up in the bullpen moments ago. We're in the bullpen. He made a nice catch of a foul ball. Herrera from Rio Mesa, the undefeated Pacific View League champions this season. Herrera, the right-hander, the leadoff batter this inning for the South will be number 3, Kevin Taylor. Behind the plate for the North, number 10, Jeremiah Duran still, Frontier High. And Taylor stepping into the batter's box. Herrera delivers, righty versus righty, right back up the middle, and can't field it as the second baseman, as it kind of stopped on the grass. And the leadoff man is on. Playable ball, couldn't make it though. Over to short. They got a chance to make up for it right here, and they do. Double play. So that double play started by David Alomio for the North squad, who moved from second base to short, where he started the game. So they make up for the error. All of a sudden, Herrera working with 2 outside on the mound. South batter swinging away. Number 16, Anthony Diaz, drives one, but the catch made by number 7 for the North, Nick Schnapp of Camarillo. So giving that one a ride towards that 360 sign. While the South still up 2-1. The North coming to bat in the bottom of the 9th. 1-run ball game. North looking for a walk-off win in the first game of the Southwest Futures All-Star Series 2017 two-day event here at Cal State University Northridge. 4 p.m. game will be East versus West. We'll have that for you here as well on liveplaysports.tv. And tomorrow's coverage, 2 more games at 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. So in addition to these players here today, we've seen Brad and Mike, our cameramen, dancing. But what you folks don't know is I have a secret feed into my headset where Darren, our producer, was just serenading me with Sweet Caroline. But here we go, bottom of the 9th inning. The North with their last chance to do some damage and either tie or win this ball game. Number 10, the catcher Jeremiah Duran at the plate. Number 15, Nicolo Chudian, still on the mound. He came in relief. He's done his job thus far. That ball drops for a base hit, so the North is in business in rally time. Number 13, Garrett Austin of Moore Park High will get his chance to take a look at the replay. So he went low for that one, but kept his balance and got that ball to drop in front of the left fielder for a single. Duran, a .352 hitter in the regular season, so he knows what he's doing out there. Some guys are just low ball hitters. If you watch Brandon Belt of the San Francisco Giants, relatively tall player, but seems to get almost all of his hits low in the zone. South 2, North 1, bottom of the 9th from Matador Field. Chudian checks in on the runner, delivers. 2-0 count to Garrett Austin. Duran at first base from Bakersfield, California. Bit of a ride over the grapevine representing Frontier High. Full count now to Garrett Austin of Moore Park. Austin, a .322 hitter this year. His team 25-4, 11-1 in league play as he looks at strike number 3. Or rather 2. I think we have full count on the board before that. So now the count is full. His team advanced to the Southern Section Division II second round of the playoffs. Finished number 13 in the LA Times, and that time he gets ball 4, draws the walk, runners on first and second, nobody out, so Chudian in trouble. Blake Corsentino from Ventura High gets a chance to be the hero. Corsentino, not a big year at the plate. He fouls one off. Just completed his first varsity season. Junior will be a senior next year, of course. Plays off that one. Representing the Ventura Cougars, they were 16-11-2 this season. 8-3-1 in the Channel League. played at the Division III level. They were the league champions. And drawing a walk, Corsentino, so very productive at bat to load the bases. Still with nobody out. So the sophomore Chudian finds himself in a bind. Number 7, Nick Schnapp from Camarillo. 1-run ball game. Pitch looked a bit high. Umpire calls strike. 0-1. The count. Chudian looks in. That one just a tad higher for ball 1. Schnapp just completed his freshman season, a .306 hitter. So getting a really nice start to his high school career. Chance to gauge himself against other standouts from other schools playing together and against each other in this Southwest Futures All-Star Series. Staying alive, swinging. 2-2. And he flares one into right field. It drops for a base hit. The North have tied this ball game. Number 10 scoring from third base, Jeremiah Duran, on the RBI single from the freshman Nick Schnapp. So one of the youngest players in today's game making an impression in a clutch situation. In the bottom of the 9th, 2-2. Still nobody out. A chance to win this game. Chudian throws, and swinging is the batter for the North, number 12, Michael Christian Herrera, who's already doubled today, who's already seen action as a relief pitcher. Herrera from Rio Mesa High. Herrera swings, pops it up, and the shortstop takes care of out number 1. Huge out there for the South as they avoid the sac fly, which would win this game. Number 3 for the North, Marcus Padilla of Simi Valley. Lays off, ball 1. Padilla fouls one off. The junior left-handed hitter facing Chudian. Shooting a sophomore. From Burroughs High. And a big swing and a miss. Two-two count, the pitch. Outside. Full count. 1 out. Bases loaded. Tie ball game. Bottom of the 9th inning. Got a good one in the first game of this Southwest Futures All-Star Series. Just missing. And that walks in the winning run. So this ball game ends with a bases loaded walk. Nicolo Chudian on the mound. And the North comes from behind. They were trailing most of this game, but they win 3-2 in the opening Southwest Futures All-Star Series contest. There's the last pitch of the game. And number 3, Marcus Padilla from Simi Valley High. His patience at the plate delivers a win for his team. So that's it for this contest. We saw some errant throws to the catcher. We saw a couple of clutch hits, but it ends with a bases loaded walk as the North takes this one 3-2 over the South. The Southwest Futures All-Star Series. I'm Patrick O'Sullivan for LivePlaySports.tv. We'll be back with you at 4 p.m. for the next game. Tune in then. Thank you for watching.